Hi everybody and welcome back to Science with Summit. I'm Summit and this is brought to you by Bad Acidry. Badacidtree.com is a great website and honestly I love everything they put up, so I feel right at home here. But I digress. Now the reason for this video is my new good friend Ty asked me. When he was younger, he saw a made-for-TV movie about the Hulk. Now, I'm unclear on some of the details, but the bad guys were running away from the Hulk while the Hulk was chasing them down. And the bad guys decided to hop on a helicopter to try to make their escape. Now, the Hulk was able to grab onto one of the landing skids of the helicopter, and while they were trying to take off, the Hulk ended up pulling the helicopter down. The engine whined and strained, but eventually the Hulk was able to beat the helicopter. Now, Ty was wondering, is this possible? He was especially skeptical because the Hulk didn't anchor his feet onto anything. Now, the short answer is maybe, but let's dive deeper into it. So, we're going to need to know two things. First of all, how heavy is the Hulk? And how much can helicopters lift? Now, according to Marvel.com, the Hulk weighs anywhere between 900 and 1,400 pounds. But now, how much can a helicopter lift? This vastly depends on the type of helicopter and also the conditions. For all intents and purposes, a helicopter can lift more when the air is more dense. Now, that's a function of air temperature and altitude. How a helicopter works is those spinning blades bumping into air particles and then creating lift. More air particles equals more lift. As for the type of helicopter, let's take a look at the nicest helicopter I could imagine an individual possibly buying. Here is the Bell 429. Rescue teams, firefighters, and news crews use these. They'll run you about $5 million. I'm not going to buy one anytime soon, but it is conceivable that somebody, especially a supervillain, might. So now, here are the stats. You just have to subtract the empty weight from the gross weight to find out this helicopter can lift about 3,000 pounds. Now, if this is upwards of a 1,400 pound Hulk, a few 200 pound guys, if they have anywhere near 1,000 pounds of cargo, including fuel, now they're going to have some serious trouble, especially if they're not at sea level where air pressure is the highest. Here, at one extreme, however, is the Mosquito Air. That can only carry 280 pounds. And again, this includes even the fuel that you put into it. Now, that's not bad though when you consider that you can get one of these bad boys for brand new, under $20,000. Now, at the other end of the extreme spectrum, here is the Mi-26. This Russian helicopter can theoretically carry over 60,000 pounds. A helicopter like this might be very useful if you have to transport cargo in and out of rough terrain. You could even transport the Hulk, as long as he didn't jump as hard as he could while he was inside the helicopter. I go into more depth in this in How Strong is Superman, but to make things short, you generate a lot more force when you jump. I'd like to address two more things. How come the Hulk didn't just pull the helicopter right out of the sky instantly? Well, the Hulk can only pull down with as much force as he weighs. Otherwise, he would just be doing pull-ups on the skid of the airplane. And two, how come the Hulk didn't make the helicopter just slam sideways into the ground? He was, after all, pulling only on one side of the helicopter. Now, this is a multiple part answer. First of all, let's look at a helicopter. Here is our helicopter. Now, the lift is generated from the wings. So let's put a little rope around where the lift is generated from. Okay, now not exactly balanced, but close enough. Now even if I pull down on the skid as hard as I can, and I'll turn it to you so you can see, I'm pulling down on the skid really hard, and it's only tilting it a little bit. This is due to the fact that I'm almost pulling down at where the center of gravity is naturally. The skids are made for this. Now, you've seen people jump off helicopters all the time to go parachuting or skydiving, and that's exactly why, because the skids are specifically made for this. Now, as you saw, there is a slight offset in the center of gravity, but this is partially alleviated by the gyroscopic effect of the blades. Now, as the blades spin around, these do four things. It pushes air down, creates lift to lift the helicopter up. It, because of equal and opposite reaction, will rotate the helicopter slowly in this direction. Why on a lot of helicopters, you see that there is this extra tail blade to counteract that. That's not true on all helicopters. There are multiple different ways. Some helicopters have an extra blade on top that spins in the opposite direction or to the side, and some helicopters have a little either jet or air controlled system over here So there are a few different ways. And the last thing it does is stabilize the helicopter through the gyroscopic effect, which is greatly demonstrated by a gyroscope. I just broke my gyroscope, so I had to fix it really quick. See? Anyways, that took long enough in about 50 tries, but you get the point. That when it's spinning really fast, I don't have to use my other finger to support it. I could just let that top finger down and it wouldn't fall because of the gyroscopic effect, which is the final force that acts on the blades of the helicopter. In short, it is very possible for Hulk to bring down that helicopter in exactly the same way that he did in the made-for-TV special. I hope you enjoyed this video and check out the rest of Badassery because it is pretty awesome. Thanks for watching.